That fight was a complete domination, complete schooling. Charlo kind of came there for a paycheck. Canelo came to serve class and serve him as well. Man, he won every round of that fight. Canelo, I was watching the Showtime. I was watching the Showtime thing that they had for Canelo and Charlo. Charlo was confident. He talks the talks. He's like, I'm gonna beat Canelo. I know I'm the underdog, but that's why I'm here. Type of thing. I'm the lion, and Canelo's like, I'm whatever animal that can beat a lion, and Canelo is that whatever animal that can beat a lion. He's him. But ultimately, what I saw in that Showtime thing is that Charlo did have the effects of he messed up his hand, and that took him out for a while. Before this fight, and he was still getting treatment on that hand when I was seeing the 30 for 30, and him just going up 2 weight classes. I mean, you definitely kind of see that as a recipe for disaster for him. He was definitely the underdog in that situation. But I was rooting for Charlo, but I ultimately did believe that Canelo was the better fighter, and that this domination that happened the other night was highly possible of happening. But that fight was a complete wash. Bud Crawford kind of talking about Charlo. I don't think of him highly as a. I don't think of him too highly. I know he's a champion in his weight division, but I can't wait to see if Bud Crawford gets to that 154 weight, faces Errol Spence and beats Errol Spence, and then goes over to Charlo. And I believe that I just want to see Bud Crawford at that 154 weight and see him fight Errol Spence. And then once that happens, I highly believe that he's beating Charlo. If all those things happen to fruition, if he fights at 154. But though the ultimate thing though, people were talking about, there was buzz. People like, is Mayweather the greatest of all time? Is Canelo better? Heck no to that. I'm crushing all the doubts of that even being said right now. Come on now. First, Mayweather at 36 beat a 23-year-old Canelo. I know Canelo was young, but that's one of the 2 losses that Canelo has right now. He lost to Bivol. And Mayweather was out of his prime at that time. I believe that he retired before that. He retired in like 08, 09. You can fact check that. Came back in the round at 36 years old, And Mayweather he has every fight that he has, everybody is there and they want him to lose. And he has big fights. Every time he's in Vegas or whatever, these big venues, people are rooting for him to lose. He's the U.S. guy. There's people from London, the Philippines with Pacquiao, people from different countries, Mexico, different countries, and he's beating these guys. He's coming in and not even the crowd favorite, and everybody's kind of showing up to root against him, and he's 50-0 in that situation. Every event they're rooting against him. So him being 50-0, 27 KOs, 12 world championships, and 5 different weight classes, and 5 weight cuts. So, I mean, he has big fights, just Showtime fight. Just a couple of big fights I'm going to show out here quick. I remember the Oscar De La Hoya fight, man, the WBC light middleweight. I mean, he won that unanimous. I mean, I think it was split decision. It was a good fight. The Ricky Hatton KO. That was a memorable one. He kind of played like the bull. He punched him and it got out of the way, and the guy ran into a knockout. So and then Juan Marquez, he's a nice guy, man. He Floyd Mayweather beat him, schooled him. I believe that was in 09 as well. He beat Miguel Cotto. Cotto was nice too as well for a WBA light middleweight title. Then you had Zab Judah, the IBF welterweight title for that one. And he beat Pacquiao. I know people were bored about that fight, but he beat Pacquiao. And he won that fight. Come on now. We're too old for this one. He fought that fight. He won that fight. And he fought his fight. Manny Pacquiao was not fighting his fight. He neutralized Manny Pacquiao in that fight. Manny Pacquiao was really active, and he kind of neutralized that with his defense. And then he schooled Canelo. He didn't slaughter Canelo, but he schooled Canelo in that fight at 36 at that too as well. Canelo We love Canelo. I don't think he brings in that cachet. I know it's the Mexico people in Mexico love Canelo, but I don't think he brings in that cachet. Meaning, he doesn't bring in that big bag. You know, Mayweather, big fights. You know, with Conor McGregor, the Pacquiao's. I'm saying he just draws in that big events. You know, yeah, First Take talking about it, ESPN really talking about it. This fight with Charlo and Canelo, people just kind of talked about it for a little bit and went on their way. I mean, there's not really big fights except that I only really kind of wanted to see only the triple G trilogy that happened. The Charlo fight a little bit, but that kind of died out. He doesn't really draw in big fights. I mean, that could be the division right now. They say the boxing right now, but when Mayweather was doing his thing, man, it was just my eyes were glued onto that screen to see what happens. I don't know. I think he just brings in that character, that cachet, the bag, the amazement. But 62-2, I mean, I don't know what he needs to do, but Floyd Mayweather already beat Canelo, so I mean, let me know what you guys think on that topic. But I'm gonna have to stick with Mayweather. He beat him. He has 12 world championships in 5 weight classes. I don't know what more you do. He did it in less time. And Canelo, he's a great fighter. Nothing against Canelo. He's a great fighter. I wonder what he's gonna do next. And he's a beast, man. Whatever fight he has next, man, we might talk about it. Let me know if you guys like me talking about boxing, what you guys got to say about it. Much love, like, subscribe, and peace, baby.